Sanhedrin Daf Nun He Amud Aleph, 12 lines down. Today's daf is sponsored by Dr. Ezra Dayan in honor of his Eshet Hayel Renee. Amale Ravina Rava, Hama'are Bizchur Mahu. So just quick heads up, a bit graphic again today. Try to keep the headphones in your ear or by yourself. When I was learning this Gemara a dozen years ago in Yeshiva, we were trying to learn it, and then we went over to the rabbi and said, "Does this mean what we think it means?" And he just laughed. So here we go. If someone starts the initial part of intercourse with a male, so that means he does the beginning step of penetration, what's the halacha? Is he a chayav or not? Ma'areh b'zchur, the Gemara says 1 second. Initial, mishkeve isha aktive, same way by a woman, initial is considered counting, and therefore will be no difference. The Gemara says, Elam ha'ma'areh behemama. What if you do the initial with an animal? Amarle, we already had these pesukim teaching you that you're chayav in the case of people. Because we know you're also for initial already from nida. Therefore, therefore the extra pasuk might teach you that you're also chayav for initial for animal. Bestiality, having relations with an animal, you're chayav betin from betin. Why would you write that you're chayav for this through a halacha that you're chayav karet, like nida? Where it says, it should have been written by another case of execution by bedin and learn from the animal from there. Where it says, we said, no, since that whole pasuk is kind of extra, teaching you this, the family members it was obvious already. Therefore, you could learn extra hadush even though it doesn't fully apply the same punishment. Someone has intercourse with himself. What's the halacha? Amar Rav Sheshet answered him what we're all thinking, Kabastan. Stop asking us these weird questions. Amar Rashi says, "Ma'iti barlach." What? And he's explaining why is it a weird question besides the fact that it's disgusting. Because some person is aroused and he's erect, he can't do that to himself. And if what? How would it be possible? The guy is limp, he's unaroused, and therefore, according to the opinion, holds that if you have relations with a woman while limp, you're patur. So do in the garden, do it yourself in patur. According to the person that holds your chayav, in the case of by himself, you'd be chayav double. He's double because he's the doer and the receiver. Don't try this as homework, they say. But the goy is with an animal. What the halacha? Is the animal put to death or not? Our Mishnah mentioned two separate cases, separate reasons. You say, oh, that's the animal that caused someone else to sin. It's embarrassment. And also, we say that since he caused, it's an embarrassment for him because the animal was walking in the street and people will point to it. The Gemara says, so over here, there is a factor that this animal caused someone to sin, but there's no embarrassment for the goy. Maybe you should execute it, even though there's no embarrassment. The Gemara says, I'm not sure 22, I will bring a bright out. Regarding to trees, which a person worships, doesn't eat or drink or smell, I'm not Torah Torah says destroy, burn, and destroy and eradicate. Because a person had a downfall through them. Over here as well, regarding to a creature. So this object that caused someone to sin should also be destroyed. That's the case, that it caused someone to sin to be automatically hasus, even if a goy, forget about lives with the animal, if he worships the animal, make chayav. So the Gemara says no. If a Jew did it, it wouldn't be asur. So we can't make it asur by a goy. The Gemara says so we said, okay, fine, a Jew as well, if he worships the animal, but asur. Why isn't it? Why is it only by relation? Because it's not as bad an embarrassment. Yes, the guy worshipped it, pretty embarrassing. Relations is just next level embarrassing. Regarding an Asherah tree where the worship the tree, we said destroy it over there. Also not embarrassing. How can we destroy it? The more says, living creatures are different. The Torah has mercy on them. Rabbi says, the reason is because the animal received pleasure, I guess, from the act, and therefore you kill it. But on the reverse side of the tree that did not get benefited by you worshipping it, you still have to destroy it. Regarding living creatures, we are having more mercy. Explanation why the animal's killed. We said the Mishnah that we said because we don't want people to say, oh, that's the animal that caused someone to sin. My love, seemingly. Sounds like from the last part of Mishnah says that the guy there is a downfall, it causes him to sin, and it's embarrassing. Sounds like the first case talks about only downfall without embarrassment. Where it says, what would be that scenario? It would be talking about a case where it's a goy with an animal, no embarrassment, but there is downfall. Where it says, not a good proof. The second case is talking about embarrassment and downfall. The first part of Mishnah is even in the case where there is embarrassment without downfall, the animal's chayav to be killed. If the animal, a Jew is with an animal by mistake. Like Rav Huna said, a Jew is with an animal by mistake. What's the halacha? Do we need embarrassment and downfall? That's only embarrassment and there's no downfall from the mistake. Maybe it should be asur, executed because there's embarrassment even though there's no downfall. A girdle of 3 years and 1 day can be married through bi'ah. Technically, we do not do this. Technically, if the Yavam lives with her, he acquires her as a wife legitimately. But if she's married, the person is chayav mita if they really lived with her, like a really married woman. And regarding to making tum'ah of mattresses, special halachot bazav, also she's fully capable. And he said, if she's married to Kohen, she can eat rumah. If someone is a pasul that lives with her, and she's a Kohen's daughter, she's pasul from Kohena. This is the key point. If a different Isur partner lives with her, they put to death. She's because she's a minor. Seemingly, any type of forbidden partner, even an animal. Over here, there's a case of uh, uh, degradation, right? It causes someone to sin, but it's embarrassment, right? But there's no sin because she's a minor. He put it to death. So we have a case where there's only embarrassment and you still kill it. The Gemara says no. Given the mezida, he takala namiika. Over here, Tomar case, since she did it on purpose, assuming that she did it on purpose, it's also considered downfall. God have mercy from killing her because she's a minor. But the animal still gets killed. Similar case. I'll leave him tokena. A 9-year-old boy, minimum age for a male, is with it if he can have relations with his mama to acquire. They don't then get a check deal, but he can't divorce until he turns 13 because he's not capable of giving a get. So if he marries her and he doesn't like her, good luck. He can pass along to Ma'av Nida if he has with her. He can be posel a Kohen's daughter if he marries her. But he cannot eat tiruma if he can't allow his wife to eat tiruma if he marries her if he's a Kohen. Through his action, he can also disqualify an animal if he lives with an animal. But the animal is killed. If he lives with a different type of partner, a forbidden partner, they get killed and he does not. The Gemara says, in the case of the 9-year-old with the animal, there's embarrassment, no downfall, no sin. We say he still killed the animal. The Gemara says, since there's embarrassment and he did it on purpose, we kill the animal and we had mercy on him because he's too young, but we still kill the animal because the animal's still able to be killed. Tashma bring proof. The different explanation why the animal's killed. Right, so we said that. Oh, this is the. We don't want people to say this is the animal that caused the Reuben to sin. My lab is so now we're going to do something again. Seemingly, the last case had embarrassment and downfall. And what type of case is that? Sorry, the last case had both, and therefore the first case needs to come out without downfall, just embarrassment. That would be a case of a Jew with an animal by mistake. The message is not proof. Look, second case, like you said, is embarrassment and downfall. The first case is to a downfall without embarrassment. It's the case and boy with an animal. Like we said earlier, that is talking about a case it's considered a sin, but there's no embarrassment. The goy is not embarrassed. Hamegadif eno chayav. A person who curses Hashem is not chayav ad she'eferesh et Hashem until he pronounces God's name. And how does he have to, and he has to do it in a certain way? Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. Now, when you testify on someone, generally, you have to say what they did. So during the process, the in that interrogation process, the witnesses use a nickname for God. For example, Yakeh Yossi et Yossi. They testify that when he said, right, so the way to curse, to be chayav for cursing God, he had to use Shema Meforash, Yakeh, which means strike, and then Shema Meforash again. So they would use a nickname, say Yossi, Yakeh Yossi. When his case is complete now, you can't execute him based on the nickname because we have to hear it happen. And then we send everybody unnecessary out of the courtroom. The most top witness and tell them. And more tell us exactly what you heard. The whole man who repeat being cursed. But then the judges stand on their feet. They rip their garments, but they'll never repair it because they heard God's name being cursed. But the second witness says, he hasn't to repeat it. He could just say, I testify that that's exactly what I heard. But actually, if is a third witness, we'll explain why we need a third witness over here. We also can say, I am like them. And he doesn't have to say exactly what he heard. Tana says, person no chayav until he curses God's name with God's name. You know, I mean, I know that. Mashmul Pasuk says, V'nokev Shem, bin nokvo Shem yumat. The nokev of Hashem's name with Hashem's name. So a person has to use God's name to curse God's name. Who says that the word nokev means blessing? I mean cursing, rather. The Quran uses a euphemism. The pasuk warning against cursing God is from the following Elokim lo tzikada. That is who? Who says it means that the Shem Hashem is being striking Hashem Hashem, and using God's name to curse God. Maybe it means you can't stab a piece of paper with God's name. The pasuk will also be saying against them Isur against erasing God's name. No. Over here we need a case. We said specifically that in order to be chayav for cursing God, it's still a sort to erase God's name, but in order to be chayav for cursing God, you need God's name curse it onto God's name. And over here it is not. The Gemara says, okay, maybe you're talking about a case where they put two God's name on top of each other and you stab it together, so it's two in one shot. The Gemara says, not also not good. That's two separate piercings. That's not one of God's name onto another. The Gemara says, okay, maybe you engraved God's name on the edge of a knife, then you tore a name with it. The Gemara says, no. The knife is what's tearing it, not God's name itself. And therefore, we have to say it must be that it's from a case where you're using God's name to curse God's name. We'll stop here.